There's two ways we want to do this. We want to knee tap him just enough to break his balance so that when he recovers and he gets back to his knees, we're already rotating and spinning behind him. The other way is we're going to take him all the way to his back and we're going to get an underhook and be into side control. So first, I'm going to have my front headlock. I'm going to pull this tricep into me with my elbow coming into my rib cage, and I'm going to slip my shoulder through. I'm not going to just try and reach. My arm isn't long enough. I have to kind of rotate. Then I'm going to drive, and when he recovers, I'm spinning. I'm using that same kind of waiter movement where my hand comes to the outside. Of course, you can drag. I just prefer to come here rather than here because of the redrag. Anytime I do a drag, I'm open and susceptible to be dragged myself, arm dragged. So when I'm here, I'm just one step ahead. So when I'm dragging, boom, I'm unthreading through all that to come back to the outside. And I should be already sliding around and spinning. So yes, you could practice doing chop lateral steps, or you could slide, which I prefer sliding on other people, using your weight on their weight so you don't have to be planted to the mat or ground when doing this. You don't have to be, right? That's slow. So we want to have enough of our body on them so we can kind of more or less rotate on them, and it's quicker. So when we that rotate, knee slide, pivot, all those movements come together with athleticism. So when we do this, we have our front headlock position, we reach through, unthread, and rotate to back control. In. Chin strap, shoulder on top, angle, pull that tricep. Now I'm slipping through, unthreading, rotating. So those movements together, trained and practiced, become very efficient. And it's just like categorizing them, not trying to do it all at once initially when you're learning it. Being able to break his balance. Just practice breaking his balance with the knee tap. So when I get into this position, able to boom, and come back up. Now do it from I'm a little higher now. I'm pulling and I'm stepping, right? I'm kind of like, now he comes up even. Being able to do it, like getting used to like what that feels like, breaking someone's balance to their hip, okay? Really important. So once you've kind of figured out that go behind, now we're gonna try and take him all the way to his back. But it's really important when we do this that we get our hand off the thigh and come to an underhook in a very specific way so we don't get lost in too deep where we put ourselves in trouble and possibly our own back taken. Okay, so I have a front headlock and he comes up. This is the time to do it. We drive and we come to an underhook. So we're in this kind of like Keizagatami but with an underhook, right? We're not over the head, we're over the arm on the head, we're under the arm holding. And of course you could transition to a bunch of different stuff, but we're just trying to break his balance enough. Okay, so I get to this front headlock and I'm leaning in and he comes up. I'm slipping through, underhooking, stepping back. Nice position. So kind of a whole movement where to that underhook. So when you do practice it fast, there's momentum. You're going to get help just by the way action and reactions, those happen together. You're going to be able to get it pretty efficiently, but you have to learn the kind of systems behind it rather than just like momentum. Because I don't have to be strong to do this. I just have to be at the right time and position. Boom. However we do get our front headlock is not important. Whether we snap, we do an Uchimata, whatever. We're going to get to this front headlock. And he's coming up. Now I have to pull this arm, boom, and break that balance. So I want to rotate my hips even a little, slip my shoulder under his neck. So it's here. You don't want to be here long, but you want to be here. It's hard to knee tap someone from there. It's possible, but you're definitely just going to get them to, so go to your knees. You're definitely just going to get them to their butt, which is then going to be a go behind, which is great. But if you want, take him to his back for side control. He comes up. Boom, slide it all the way through. Get into his back. Break his balance enough. So you want to utilize that knee tap in two different ways. But both ways you want to elongate, thumb down, pull that tricep, elongate his body. So do you see that? that position alone is enough to take someone down. But when you take into account like momentum and action, reaction, where we come down and it comes up, boom, you're able to kind of like use his own natural movement against him. Okay, and you want to control what happens afterwards, but I'm just trying to make a point. Where you do something, he's going to go against it, and that leads right into how we want to finish in control with an underhook, inside control.